It was a special senior night on Sunday and a blowout win as the Huskies send their seniors out in style. This is Locked On UConn.
You are Locked On UConn, your daily podcast on the UConn Huskies, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Happy Monday and welcome back to another episode of Locked On UConn. I am Matt Schonvisky, a two-time graduate tenure credentialed media member and host of the only daily UConn sports podcast, Locked On UConn, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, the number one sports podcast network in the world. Please hit the like and subscribe button, and thank you for making this your first listen each and every single day. On today's show, we will recap senior night from Sunday, specifically talking about Azzi and what she's meant to this UConn women's basketball program then. Dominating defense in the blowout win over Providence. Was it a school record in terms of turnovers forced? We'll talk about that. And finally, Geno talked post-game at length, as well as some players, on what these seniors have meant to this team. But first, today's episode is brought to you by Mazda. We put that same drive into every detail. Wins define the moment, putting in the work. That defines you. Stay tuned for highlights in this week's Moving the Game Forward. There's more to a Mazda because there's more to you. So senior day on Sunday, and Azzi, obviously, front and center in terms of the seniors that were honored at Gamble Pavilion. And it's been an up and down career, obviously, for Azzi. And I think more up of late than down, of course. Injuries early on in her career, not exactly what she wanted for the first half of her career here with the Huskies. But last year, national championship. This year, is there something that this team can do that only a select few teams here at UConn have ever done? I think yes. And it's in large part because of what she's contributed and brought to the table this season for UConn. The Michigan performance, the performance earlier this season against Tennessee, and then she's just been misconsistency over the last several weeks, leading the Huskies in scoring nonstop. And she is the heart and soul of this team. She's having the most fun. For me, the most fun she's had in her UConn career. She's at ease. She's confident. And you could see it in her play. You could see it how she talks at the podium, post-game, pre-game interviews, and all her interactions with the media. And you get to see her comfort level, how she's grown as a player, how she's grown as a person in her time here in Storrs. And she went out with a bang. 81-38 win over Providence. It was 40-14 at the half. And they absolutely shut down Providence overall. 81-38 final, like we mentioned. This game, start to finish, Azzi Fudd led the way. 13 points as UConn improved to 29-0 overall, 18-0 in the Big East. Listen, it wasn't her best shooting night by any stretch. 5 of 16 from the field, 3 of 13 from three. 3 of 13 from three. Not even close to her best shooting night. But still led the way in points, played 26 minutes, and then gave time for some of the other players on this team to really step up, like Geno Auriemma. 16 rebounds. 16! KK Arnold, 10 assists, 8 points. Sarah Strong played 13 minutes off the bench due to getting some other players some starting time on senior night. Ayanna Patterson. Sarah Williams, obviously. But this team just continues to showcase themselves. After a stretch there that, hey, they didn't perform up to their expectations. Sarah Strong has been in and out of the lineup. Back-to-back performances where you question, hey, we think this is going to be a 25, 30, 40-point game heading in. At Marquette, 71-56. At Villanova, 83-69. And at Villanova, down by 3 at the half. It was one of those games where things were teetering a little bit there. Just like against Tennessee, where it was tied at the half. But in the Villanova game, Azzi Fudd on the road. We just talked about her performance on Sunday. Last week, 25 points on 10 of 18 shooting, 4 of 6 from 3. 3 rebounds, 4 assists. Led the way from a scoring standpoint. Sarah Strong, her best game since coming back at Villanova. 32 minutes, 21 points, 12 rebounds. It was a great second half in that win at Villanova. 46-29 in the second half to overcome that 3-point first half deficit. And to rewind even further back to Marquette, a game that the Huskies entered and I expected a blowout. Final was a 15-point game, 71-56. Again, UConn was only up 3 after the first quarter. Close game. 12-point margin at the half. And then again, from a scoring standpoint, Azzi Fudd, 25 points, 10 to 20 from the field, 5 of 8 from 3, 2 rebounds. And Sarah Strong played 27 minutes that day. So as Sarah continues to get back healthy, you can see how her minutes went. 27 against Marquette, up to 32 in the win at Villanova. Only played 13 on Sunday, partially senior day. And then being cautious with how she's coming back. That was her first real game back offensively, 22 points on 9 of 20 from the field. 3 steals, 3 blocks. So just like on the men's side, the UConn team was going through things a little bit there in middle of February. But back in action against Providence this Sunday. Sent their seniors out as they should. With a huge, dominating 43-point win in their final regular season game at Gamble. And listen, they get some little bit of extra time. Not back in action until Thursday against Georgetown. That game at People's Bank Arena, the final home game for Azzi Fudd and the rest of the senior class in Hartford. I think you're looking to close this season, final 2 games, with similar results as you saw against Providence. But Sunday was all about seniors. And in my opinion, all about Azzi. Obviously, there's a lot more to the senior class than just Azzi. But Azzi, to me, has been front and center, the focal point of this team. Outside of Paige over the last several years. Her presence, what she does for the women's game, what she does here locally, for the kids that look up to her as a role model. She's going to be missed. She's certainly somebody that, she didn't get the chance to have a full, healthy college career. But what she did do is make the most of it. Take the battles, take the obstacles, take the hurdles that come, and grow and become better than she was when she first arrived at UConn. And she talked about some of those struggles post-game, after the game, and what the experience here at UConn. And it's not, obviously, has not just been her, the entire senior class. You talk about Ayanna. Out for 2 years. Got 2 minutes. There were times where UConn only had 5 healthy players during this class's run here at UConn. And what that's done to them as people, not just on the basketball court and in the hurdles and obstacles and overcoming adversity on the court, but what that does for you off the court, right? Because Azzi last year, there's some questions. Is she coming back? She walked on senior night. She was honored on senior night a year ago. This is the second time she was honored. Ultimately, obviously came back, had the championship run, and stayed. And look at what they're doing this season. So I think it's more than just, we talk about the job Geno does on the court, coaching these players. It's more than just that. It's also the people developer off the court. The types of players he brings in, and then how they leave here at UConn better than when they entered. So that's Geno's legacy, just as much as all these wins. It's all these players, all these top players that have come in, and it's not a selfish mindset. You bring in so many talented players, he does a great job managing expectations, managing personalities, managing the natural, I want to shine. These players don't have that type of mentality here at UConn. You don't have that selfishness. And if you do, you're not going to be here long. And that speaks to the program that Geno and his staff and Chris Daly have rolled out here with the UConn women's program over the years. And Azzi is just a testament to that. Right? Here at UConn with Paige over the years. And Azzi's had the spotlight for sure over her UConn career. The Paige and Azzi show, as I like to call it. But this is her time now. This is me speaking. This is Azzi's time. As we move forward here through March and April, this is her team. It's going to be her team. Sarah Strong will be the focal point going forward. No doubt about it. Blanca will be a focal point going forward. No doubt about it. Sarah Strong, National Player of the Year. But as Azzi closes her career and what she's been doing down the stretch here offensively, from a point standpoint, leading the team, I just think that she's going to go out and she's going to be remembered here at UConn for the performances she has here in March and April. And ultimately, what transpires in April. Because I still see this team going all the way. Running the table, running through the Big East, running through the NCAA tournament, getting to the Final Four. And then let's roll the dice. Let's see what happens. Obviously, the Final Four and where the women's game is these days, we've talked about this on the show. UConn's success has led to parity in the college game, in the development of women's basketball across the board. And yes, it's going to be a battle in the Final Four. I'm not saying it's going to be a cakewalk all the way to a national championship and undefeated season. But I think this team, led by Azzi, is ready to close the deal. On the other side of the break, we will talk about the Huskies' defense against Providence. And we'll do that on the other side. Workplace chaos, deadline stacking up, inbox overflowing, and the one position you have to fill still sitting open. When the pressure's on and you need the right hire, this is a job for Sponsored Jobs. Indeed, Sponsored Jobs helps you reach the people who actually fit what you're looking for. Skills, experience, location. So you're not just hoping the right candidate stumbles across your post. And here's a stat that says it all. In the minute I've been talking to you, companies like yours made 27 hires on Indeed, according to Indeed data worldwide. So if you're hiring, spend less time searching and more time interviewing candidates who check all your boxes with Indeed Sponsored Jobs. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who will check all your boxes. Less stress, less time, more results. When you need the right person to cut through the chaos, this is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to help get your job the premium status it deserves at Indeed.com/podcast. Just go to Indeed.com/podcast right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs. Back in on Locked On UConn, and we are switching gears to the dominating performance that the UConn women had on Sunday in the win over Providence. And I'm not just talking the scoreboard. Yes, the game was 81-38. Yes, it was another 40-plus point win. Yes, it was a 43-point margin. Yes, it was 40-14 at the half. But what am I talking about from a statistics standpoint? Providence turned the ball over. Get this. Are you sitting down? 39 times. They play 40 minutes, right? 40 minutes in a basketball game at the college level. 39 turnovers UConn forced. 39. It just speaks to what the Huskies are able to do from a defensive and a pressure standpoint. The press, the speed you up. Geno talked about this post game. He wasn't even aware of the stat until after, which I think 39 ties the record for most turnovers in a game. And he talked about the Huskies' ability to speed other teams up to a point where they get discombobulated, which is exactly what you saw with Providence on Sunday. 21-5 after one. 19-9 second quarter. 26-11 third quarter. 15-13 in the fourth. You had players who had more turnovers than points. 1, 2, 3, including 2 off the bench. Providence had players with 8 turnovers, 7 turnovers, 5 turnovers, 4 turnovers, 3 turnovers, and then 1, 2, 3 with 2. KK Arnold. How about this first stat? She had 8 points, 10 assists, like we talked about in the first segment. She had 8 steals on the day. 8. AZ had 4. Ashlyn Shade had 5. It was just a spectacular showing and a suffocating defensive effort that is just another one of the reasons why, if you project out the rest of the season, you see undefeated rest of the way. Undefeated Big East. Undefeated Big East tournament. Undefeated NCAA tournament. They have marched to a 29-0 record. Absolutely dominating everybody they play. Yes, there's been a couple games. Tennessee tied at the half. Villanova down 3 at the half. But start to finish, this UConn team, as a prior guest that we've had on the show, this team is an absolute wagon. And this wagon is not going to be slowed down. On the other side of the break, we will talk about Geno's post-game comments, as well as some of the players that were at the podium after the game, talking about their experiences here at UConn and what these seniors mean to the team. This is Mazda's moving the game forward for those who show there's more to the score than what's on screen, such as the program that Geno Auriemma has put together here with the UConn women's basketball program. His effort over 40-plus years has led to the best basketball program that has ever been assembled anywhere on the face of this earth. And Geno and his staff, Chris Daly, did not get to this point without paying attention to every single detail, start to finish, of how to build a program. What makes programs run the right way? What's going to help players get the most out of themselves while they're here, both on the court and off the court? How do you develop a relationship with these players? Going all the way back to the 80s to where we are here today. These details, such as the ones that Geno and his staff have put together to make the best program in basketball history, those details remind us of what it really takes to raise the bar. It's that extra work off the court, dialing in every detail, giving it that extra fire, that grit, and that I never quit attitude. Here at Mazda, we put that same passion into every model. Highlights make the reel. What it took to get there makes it count. There's more to a Mazda because there's more to you. So if you want to be like Geno in this women's program and focus on all the details, look at Mazda because there's more to a Mazda because there's more to you. Today's episode is also brought to you by FanDuel. Ever wanted to experience the NBA Finals live and in person? FanDuel is giving you the chance to turn that dream into a reality with their NBA sweepstakes. Here's how it works. Use your profit boost on any NBA future, and you'll automatically be entered for a shot to win an NBA Finals trip for two. That's right. Flights, tickets, the whole experience. If you're already looking at the board and thinking about which team can make a deep run, this is the perfect time to lock it in. Love futures this time of year, whether it's picking a team to win the championship or grab a conference title. It adds that extra layer of excitement to every game down the stretch. And now, not only can your pick cash, but it could also send you to the NBA Finals. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. Use your profit boost on an NBA future and get entered for your chance to win a trip to the NBA Finals. Play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Again, visit FanDuel.com to get started. Use your profit boost on an NBA future and get entered for your chance to win a trip to the NBA Finals. Where else can you get that? Play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Back in on Locked On UConn, and we are talking post-game. Geno, what did he have to say on senior night? Some of the players, Azzi, Ayanna, KK, what did they have to say on senior night? There was a lot of emotion, of course. Let's start with the players. There was a lot of emotion pre-game. There's a lot of emotion after the game. Just looking back, how can you not? Your time here at UConn, the players you've been around, your legacy that you're leaving. Certainly an experience that you're never going to recreate anywhere else. So Azzi and all of their players taking time to look back and remember and reminisce and look around at the experiences that they've had and what they created here and continued here at UConn, leaving a legacy. Azzi talked about the fans. You, the fans that are there each and every single day. She was asked about looking around and seeing the signs from the little kids and what her thoughts are on how she interacted with that particular demographic. And she said, no, it's not just about the kids. Yes, obviously, she sees that and takes that to heart. But it's each and every single fan that's in that building each and every single night, whether it's at Gamble or in Hartford, and the support that you, the fans, you gave to this team, these players, through the highs and the lows, the positives and the negatives. And in Azzi's case, and a lot of these seniors' case, there's been some lows. There's been a lot of lows for them. This has not been a smooth ride at the college level. But the fact that you've been there each and every single day to support them, help drive them to recover and perform for you, the fans, to bring home something that not many around the country have ever done. Something that here at UConn, the basketball capital of the world, Azzi said that with pride multiple times post-game. The basketball capital of the world. That's what drives her. Among a number of other things, but certainly showing out for you, the fans. So she made it a point to go out of her way to say that. Could have just taken an answer and just talked about how, yes, she's been a role model for kids and hopes to grow the game for the next generation. But it's more than just that here at UConn, obviously. Because it's not just kids that fill up that arena each and every single night. even when they go down to Mohegan, as they will in a few weeks for the Big East tournament. It's this fan base as a whole. The respect that they have, not just Azzi, but all the seniors have, for the support that this women's program gets each and every single day, each and every single season, year after year after year after year, highs and lows, positives and negatives. You've been there. You've been the consistent presence for these players that have faced injuries and setbacks and obstacles and adversity. The consistent thing, you guys, the fans, driving them to be the best they can possibly be. So Azzi talked about that. And then Geno talked about the experience with this team and this group as well. He started talking about Ayanna first, who's been out of basketball or off the court for 2 years, and how she has been the best teammate to have on a team because of who she is as a person and how she interacts with her teammates and how everybody gets treated the same. And that he's going to miss that presence in and of itself. We talked about how, listen, a lot of these kids have arrived at UConn thinking that playing time or their college career is going to go differently. And all of these seniors have had a journey that's been different than others. And that, yeah, it may not have been what you thought, but in the end, it's life-changing. Even if it's not life-changing on the court, it's life-changing off the court. And we talked about this in the first segment, but when you come to a program like UConn and a coaching staff like Geno and the rest of his staff, your life will change. And your life is going to change for the better. No doubt. No ifs, ands, or buts. And this senior class has been about challenges and adversity, like we talked about. Geno talked about Carolyn Ducharme, and how her high school career even set her up for what she was going to experience here at UConn, where she battled through a lot of injuries at the high school level. That even though that happened, she wants to play the game so badly that she didn't let anything get in the way of that. And he thought back, this is post-game, and Geno was talking about a situation where it was one of the years that Paige got hurt and she had to step in, and it was a game at DePaul. And she was going through some issues too. But she came in and got a basket to win the game in overtime. And that no matter what she's going through, Geno was saying that she's the kind of person that just wants to be out there, wants to be somebody that's counted on, and literally not worry about anything else but what she can do to help the team win. And it's those types of experiences that lead to the closeness of this team. If you're watching the senior day ceremonies, the emotions, top on down, not just the seniors, but the younger players on this team, the underclassmen. It's something that Geno said they've even talked about as coaches, that it is unusual for a team, especially coming off a national championship team, a national championship year, a season ago, where 4 players played a very large part in that run last season. That it'd be hard to mesh with new players coming in. But that's the thing that he's going to look back on this group, and by how his players were so open and appreciative of everyone on the team. And he made the comment, if you're looking for a connection, this team, these players, make it easy for anybody to do that. And if you're not, they're going to pull you in and make you a part of the team and get the most out of you. So this senior class, the amount of lessons they've learned since coming here. Geno said no one's had it harder than this group, both individually and as a group as a whole. And individually, it would have been easy for any of these players to give up and not try to finish your career, not get the most out of this. But the experiences that they had at UConn is going to help them, whether it's in basketball or in life, when they leave UConn. And he called this group, they all had an epic adventure during their time. And there's no question about it. No question about it. And they have a chance to add one more chapter as the season closes, as their college careers close. So one more home game at People's Bank. Then they're on the road to St. John's. Then it's Big East tournament time. And then it's NCAA tournament time. We're so close. It's February 23rd as of this recording. This will be posted probably Tuesday morning. But we're a week away, less than a week away from March. And that calendar flipping to the month known as UConn, the basketball capital of the world, to quote Azzi. So as we wrap, that's going to be it for today's show. As we move forward, obviously, we're going to be talking UConn St. John's on the men's side. Huge game Wednesday night, St. John's. Monday night, I'm joining the national show, so keep an eye out for that show posted as well. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode of Locked On UConn. Make sure you subscribe and follow Locked On UConn on social media so you can get all the latest episodes. If you never miss an episode, the Everydayer Club is built for you. Get Locked On UConn ad-free, plus members-only Discord access and more. Head to lockedonucon.supercast.com to join the club. Again, lockedonucon.supercast.com to join the club. And as always, thanks for listening, and go Huskies!